Hello, Rock Band. Hello, Corinne. Hello, Otto, JP, and Jake. It's like, who am I missing? Jake. I hope everyone's doing well. Today I have 2 exercises for you, and I thought we could just take a step back from Take On Me because that's pretty much all we've been working on. And I wanted to go over some more fundamental exercises. One of them is going to be the same exercise as the one from the first video, which was the 4-finger chromatic warm-up. We're just going to take it one step further and expand. I'm going to re-explain what it is and expand upon it, and we're going to play it on every string up and down. The second thing is going to be a major scale. So some of you may already know what a major scale is, but I'm going to go over it. I decided to do the G major scale today because it actually has a lot of notes that you might be familiar with from our previous songs and from Take On Me, etc. So yeah, let's get into it. The first thing is the chromatic warm-up. I would like to start on B just because it's a very comfortable position, and I'll say that B is much easier than, say, like F. So if you feel great doing it on F, then I feel like you've mastered this exercise. Okay, so we're gonna start on B, which is right here, 7th fret, first finger on B, then second finger, still on the low E string, 3rd finger, and then 4th finger. And we're gonna go through all the strings and then back up as well. So starting on B, it'll sound something like this. So I'll go nice and slow, try to play with me. Here we go. Cool? Hope you're playing along. So now why don't we try playing it to a metronome? I would say that we should start at around 60 beats per minute. Sounds something like this. So every time we hear the 1, which is the high-pitched metronome click, then we're basically starting a new string. So here we go. 2, ready, go. All right, not too bad. I thought that was pretty good. So now what we're gonna do, let's take it one step further. And we're gonna, once we get to our top note, we're gonna go back down. We're gonna go. And every time we hear that high click again, we're actually gonna be starting with our pinky, going the opposite direction. Okay, so real quick, before we do it all together, let's practice going from the bottom string to the top string together. 1, 2, ready, go. about you, it's a little tougher for me, but that's why we're here to work, right? And this is great for me too. You know, guitar's not my first instrument, so I'm kind of learning it with you. Notice how this is actually a very good exercise for our picking hand as well, because we have to be very accurately hitting the correct string as we move up and down this warm-up. Okay, why don't we do it again? 60 beats per minute, same exact thing, but this time we're gonna go back up too once we get to the bottom. So here we go. So 1, 2, ready, go. Fantastic. On your own time, you can bump it up maybe to 70 or so. And once that feels comfortable, feel free to try moving down the frets as well and see how it goes. That's it for this exercise. Let's move on over to the major scale. It sounds something like this. Why are we doing the G major scale? I think the main reason I would like to do the G major scale is because a lot of the notes in the G major scale are notes that are familiar to us. So I'm gonna say them out loud as we go, and you'll see that you actually know where most of these notes already are. So it's a good way to learn. And the G major scale, or the major scale in general, as soon as you move it up here, it's the same exact fingering. So, okay, starts on G. We're actually going to play with our third finger. I'll explain why in a moment. So, third finger on G, and that's third fret, E string. So first string, third fret, G, then we're going to go to A with our pinky. This might be a little bit of a stretch, so it's not going to be super easy right away. Then we're going to go to B. Okay, now let's stop there. So B is with our first finger on our second string, second fret. So let's review what we just did. So it's the first three notes. Okay, not terrible. If you need to pause the video and work on that for a second, please do. So G, A, B, we're gonna go to C, third finger again, so third finger, second string. Then we're gonna go to D, with our pinky, so fifth fret, second string. Then we're gonna play E right here with our first finger, third string, second fret. And then we have F sharp, which is a new note for us. Third finger, fourth fret, third string, D string. And then we're gonna end it on G. Notice that this, same note, one octave. Okay, so let's review what we just did. We have G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, G. Let's play it a few times slow. 1, 2, ready, go. Now, if you haven't guessed why we're using our third finger, it's because we're using our first finger on the second fret a lot. So we're basically keeping the frets the same, just like our previous exercise, right? each finger is designated to a specific fret. And this is clearly more of a stretch than the B exercise that we did up here. But that's another reason why it's good to do the G major scale, because it's a little bit more challenging. Okay, let's play it up and down now, okay? So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Great. So that is all I have for you this week. Again, these are 2 things that will just really help you with your playing, with your power chords, with your major chords. You're gonna get some really strong fingers, and your pick accuracy is gonna, also increase. So I hope this was helpful, and I hope you're staying safe, and I hope you're feeling good. Can't wait to see your videos, and please let me know if you have any questions. Just message me or shoot me, record yourself, post a video of you asking a question. Any of that stuff is totally acceptable, and I welcome it. So I'm gonna move on to bass, and I will see you later. Hello, Olivia. I hope you're doing all right. I thought today we could get away from our songs, since we've been doing that for so long, and just focus on some more like fundamental exercises. So I want to go over the chromatic warm-up from the first video. We're just going to expand upon it a little bit. We're going to do every string up and down, nice and slow. And if you missed the first video, that's fine, because I'll just start over and show you again what it is. And then we're gonna go over a major scale. So today we're gonna go over G major, and I'll explain why I chose G major. But yeah, all right, let's get into it. All right, so the first exercise, it's the 4-finger warm-up, which just involves us playing a chromatic walk-up on each string using each one of our fingers. And this is really going to strengthen those fingers. If your fingers seem to get tired, or your walking fingers aren't used to walking, then this is a great exercise for both those things. It's really going to strengthen your left hand as well as your right hand. And if you did it, you spend a few minutes on it every day, it's really going to strengthen those fingers, let you play faster, let you play more accurately, and all that good stuff. So we're going to start on B. Let's do it together. Ready? Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not terrible. A little tricky though. Your wrist might be getting a little tired, but that's a good thing. That's a good pain. Means you're getting stronger. So let's do it now to a metronome, and I'm gonna start it at about 60 beats per minute. So let's check it out. 1, 2, play with me, here we go. Cool, not terrible. Here's what we're gonna do now though. We're gonna take it a step further. We're gonna go from the top string to the bottom string now. So when we get here, I wanna go and just start over without stopping. Before we do it to a metronome and do it all together, let's practice going down, from up here to down below. So here we go. 1, 2, here we go. I don't know about you, but that pinky, that's a tough one. That's hard for me. Okay, cool. So if that was a little too hard, if it was hard to keep up, move it up the neck, do it at home. Maybe start on the high E. All your fingers should be a little bit closer together, or they definitely will be. Otherwise, something's wrong with your bass. And if that feels all comfortable, move it down to F. Because that's the hardest for sure, because your fingers are all like that. Okay, so let's move on to the G major scale. I chose the G major scale because it actually has a lot of notes that we are familiar with already. And let's go through it note for note. So the first note is G with our middle finger, our second finger, 3rd fret, 1st string. Then we're gonna go to A, with our pinky. Okay, and feel free to shift your hand over a little bit, but we're gonna keep the same kind of concept from before where every finger has a designated fret. So G, A, then we're gonna go B. B is 2nd fret, 2nd string. Okay, so far we have G, A, B, okay. Then we're gonna go to C, middle finger again, just 1 fret up. Okay, then we're gonna go to D, pinky. All right, so now we have now, for the last string, we have E, then we have F sharp, and G. Okay, this is an octave here. See, that's the same note. So that's how we know we made it to the top of our scale. So, let's go over it one more time. G, A, B, C, D, E, F sharp, and G. Okay, so if you need to pause the video and just work on that for a few minutes, by all means. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna play it up and down, just like the other warm-up. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can do it together. Super duper slow. So 1, 2, ready, go. Last time, just a little bit faster, and then that'll be it for today. So here we go. Play with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Oops. I hope this was helpful. I hope you enjoy getting away from the songs and learning some other stuff. Again, I've said this before, but these two scales are really gonna help the coordination and your finger strength. I will see you next time, all right? Good job, bye now. Hello, Allison, hope you're doing well. Today, I thought we could take a step back from our songs and just maybe work out some more fundamental stuff on the piano to help us with our playing and with our coordination. Since we haven't really touched any of that stuff since we started doing these virtual lessons, and we pretty much only focused on Take On Me. This was gonna involve two hands, so I'm gonna do my best to set the camera up behind me so that you can see from my perspective, and maybe we can play it together. It's gonna be two-handed, and yeah, we're gonna go over some basic scales. It's gonna work out your finger technique and coordination, and we're gonna do some two-handed stuff as well. So, all right, let's get into it. All right, so for the first exercise, we are gonna go play a C major scale, and basically we're gonna have, starting with our thumb, we're gonna find C, our center C, right here, and we're gonna just play with each finger. We're gonna go up all the way to G, which is up here. So we have our pinky on G, and all of our fingers have a key that is designated in between. So we're going to play. Okay, not so bad. Why don't we try it to a metronome? So why don't we play it at 110? We're going to go up and down the scale. Cool. All right. Let's try doing it 4 times in a row now. 1, 2, ready, go. All right. So not so bad. If that gave you trouble, why don't you pause the video and just try it a few times first and then play along with me. The next step would be to use our left hand. We're going to do the exact same thing, starting with our pinky on C, thumb on G. And notice that this is a C power chord, right? So that's just a side note there. We're going to do the same thing. Okay, really good for coordination. Not the easiest thing to do. It's pretty simple. But simple and easy are not necessarily the same thing. Simple means that we can understand what we're doing pretty quickly, right? It doesn't take a lot of explaining to get it. But is it easy to play? No. Is it easy to play fast? Definitely not. So why don't we just play it nice and slow, same tempo. Well, before we actually play to a metronome, let's just play it a few times. One more time, if you weren't playing with me, go ahead and play with me this time. So 1, 2, ready, go. So what tends to happen is that, especially with these two fingers, our middle finger and our ring finger, they tend to be weaker. And so we want to avoid kind of like having 2 notes down at the same time. I really just want 1 note down, every other finger resting on the key and not pushing down. So it's actually pretty difficult at first if you've never done this before. So let's take it nice and slow. One more time, then we'll play to a metronome. Ready, and... Okay. Metronome is our best friend. Same tempo as before. 1, 2, ready, go. Okay, let's do both hands now. So 1, 2, here we go. that's fantastic. Let's do it 4 times in a row now, like before. 2, ready, go. Cool. If you can do that, that's excellent, fantastic. Let's do one more thing. It's very, very similar, but now we're gonna play an arpeggio, which means, okay, we're actually gonna skip some of our notes. So we're just gonna go first finger, thumb, middle finger, pinky. Okay, and we're just gonna do the same exact thing we just did, but now we're gonna skip some notes. And again, what tends to happen at first to a lot of students is we sometimes, when we hit our middle finger or our pinky, automatically our ring finger is going to want to go down. So we got to really strengthen up our coordination, strengthen up our fingers, and avoid that at all costs. So here we go. I'm going to do it just with my right hand first. So here we go. Okay, maybe a few times in a row. Alright, let's do it with our left hand now. Ready, and... both hands. Cool. Let's see what it sounds like to a metronome. 1, 2, ready, go. Alright, so not so bad. Notice how pretty much already start playing songs that way. I'm just playing the root note, so in this case I'm using my pinky. And then I'm playing a very popular pop progression. Popular pop progression. So I'm going, if you wanted to play what I just did, I'm going C to G to A minor to F. Another great way to practice that arpeggio and get our left hand coordinated with the right hand. It's okay to just hold out root notes if you're going to play songs like that. That's also a very common way of playing, so why don't we actually try that? So start over. And notice that's a lot of songs that we probably think of that sound like that. Alright, so that is all for today. I hope you enjoyed that. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you next time. Hello, rock band drummers. And for my Pritzker class, hello Elon. I thought today maybe we could go over some more fundamental, like rudimentary exercises and kind of take a step back from Take On Me, since that's all we've been working on so far with our virtual lessons. So I was thinking, yeah, let's go over some hand technique, some fundamental rudiments that will really help you with your finger control and your wrist control and getting those two parts of your hand and working together. This is going to be great for building up speed and accuracy. So, you know, these are some exercises that you can start very, very slow, work your way up. I still practice this stuff to this day before my gigs, and they're extremely important. They're something you can work on forever. Start slow, work your way up, and yeah, all right, let's get into it. All right, so the first exercise is just singles, just straight singles. We're just gonna play right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, over and over and over again. We want to try to make them all sound as even and similar as possible. You want them all to sound almost like the same note. So here, I got my snare off, I got a pad on it. So this is what singles sound like. And if you're left-handed, then go ahead and start with your left hand. But if you're right-handed, start with your leading hand. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, not so bad. So notice how I have a triangular shape in front of me. We don't want this. We definitely don't want this. So, you know, nice and easy. Everything needs to be relaxed. So as soon as you start speeding up, your body's gonna wanna, your arms are gonna wanna tense up so that you can play faster. But really, we gotta work on being relaxed throughout the whole thing, because otherwise I wouldn't be able to play anything faster than, you know, if you're tense up. And you can also hear it. There's a very big difference between, and you can hear that, and the audience can feel it too. So let's play to a metronome. Let's start at 110. We're gonna play them as eighth notes. So every time we hear that click, that's basically our right hand, right? Because that's 1, 2, 3, 4. Now with eighth notes, it's 1 and 2. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2. Okay, so together, play with me. 1, 2, ready, go. Not so bad. Play that as long as you want. Now we're going to move on to doubles. So doubles, these are singles. What might doubles be? Okay, so same thing. We want them all to be as even as possible. So it's a little bit trickier to do. It's never going to be perfect, but you want them all to be, if you can, the same volume. Okay, and you want them all to be even. So that's basically a roll, right? So we want to get nice and controlled. 2 hits exactly. We don't want any buzzing. We want exactly 2 hits. Let the stick bounce right up, right? It's like playing basketball. When you play basketball, especially with singles too, I forgot to mention, when you play basketball, you don't want to put the ball down and then pick it back up, then put it back down, right? You want to dribble it. So when the ball bounces, it comes back up, and you basically guide it back down. So that's the same thing we're doing with singles and doubles. We want to just have the stick do as much of the work as possible. Okay, so doubles, here we go. Down to 100. So 1, 2, ready, go. You gotta be playing with me. Now, for the ultimate challenge, we're going to try to combine the 2 rudiments, singles and doubles, without stopping. So we're going to do 1 measure of each. It's going to be 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And it's actually great for stick control because, you know, the transition from one to the other is actually pretty tricky, especially when you start picking it up a little bit. So let's see what we got at 100 BPM. 1, 2, 3, 4. Switch and switch. All right, not so bad. Let's speed it up just a little bit. Let's go to 120. See how that feels. 1, 2, 3, 4. right, let's see what 140 feels like. This might be our goal tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cool. So work on that. There's not too much information in there. It's just singles and doubles. One more thing I want to do is maybe work on something with our kick drum too, so you can actually practice this on the drum set, like I am right now. So this is going to involve a right-left kick. So we want to basically go in a circular direction. So right-left kick, that's going this way in my mind. We're going counterclockwise. More of like a triangular direction, right? So we're going right-left kick, right-left kick, right-left kick, right-left kick. So there's like a flow between 3 different limbs. Now this is going to be a little tricky. So why don't we, before we do anything else, especially before we play to a metronome, why don't we just get used to smoothing out playing right, left, kick, and starting it over and having a nice flow, a nice cycle going. And what we want to try to avoid is going, right? We want to have it nice and even. Okay, so let's play it together nice and slow. 1, 2, ready, go. Not so bad. If that was giving you trouble, why don't you just pause the video, work on that a little bit, and get that nice flow going before you move on to a metronome. So let me actually, not sure what tempo we should do this at, so notice how this is in 4/4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're playing a pattern of 3. So it's gonna have a weird feel to it at first, but it can actually be a really killer fill. What we're basically gonna do is play 4 of these, 4 right left kicks, right left kick, right left kick, right left kick, right left kick. And then we're gonna have 4 singles after that. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then loop it again. So the whole thing will sound like this. Okay, so that's played at 16th notes. So we have 16 notes, 12 plus 4, 16, and that's actually a really cool fill. Played as a whole measure of 16th notes can be something like this, right? Let's find a tempo that works for us. So I think that's good. 100. This is at 100, I believe. 100 BPM. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, why don't we, before we end here, why don't I just show you some applications of this. I'm going to move on to my hot rods. Get rid of these marching sticks. So, sound like this. Why don't I speed it up a little bit? Alright, I'm going to speed it up all the way to 160. So. notice how even just between the snare and the hi-hat, there's multiple different combinations you can do. And while I mix it up, when I go, all that kind of stuff, I'm not thinking snare, snare, hi-hat, snare, snare. I'm going right, left kick, right, left kick, right, left kick, right, left kick, right? So I'm thinking in my head, right, left kick. I'm relying on the pattern. So that's why you need to practice this. About 1 trillion times before you actually apply it, because it needs to be super embedded in your muscle memory before you can actually apply it to the kit. Cool. I hope this was helpful, and I hope this gives you something to work on, maybe something new, a little bit more interesting. I'm sure we're all sick of our songs, and since if that's the only thing you're practicing every day. So hopefully this gives you some more, fun exercises to work on. You can even use this fill in the songs that we do. So, keep in mind that all of this is going to help the songs are going to help this, and this is going to help the song. So it's all connected. So get practicing, and I will see you next time.